A relatively unknown person. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have never heard of this person. David Bergamini is the son of a missionary architect whose work took him and his family to many places in the Far East. Bergamini was born in Tokyo, spent his childhood in China, and was a 13-year-old living in the Philippines when World War II broke out. He was put in a concentration camp and spent much of his time studying mathematics, which led to an interest in astronomy. After the war, he went to Dartmouth, majoring in English and minoring in mathematics, and was a Rhodes Scholar at Oxford from 1949 to 1951, so we have a very smart fellow here. He spent 10 years with Life magazine as a reporter and editor in the science department before leaving to devote his full time to writing. While with Life, he was one of the staff that produced The World We Live In. He has had a number of articles published on scientific subjects, including The Language of Science. That should be interesting. Which has been reprinted in essay anthologies. He is also the author of The Fleet in the Window, a novel drawn from his wartime experiences in a Philippine prison camp. So what we have here is a young man who learned mathematics very well and attended his views towards astronomy. Okay. And as you'll see here, I'll make a few connections and make a few notes for my listeners. I have that book again, The Universe. It's the time capsule book I mentioned in an earlier video. But a part 2 for this one, because it has some really important points I want to make here that stick out to me. Now, being that I'm very interested in the way the universe works, and it confuses me a lot, to be honest with you. Chapter 8, it says here, Space, Time, and the Universe. Now, I'm sure you can get it. It's probably going to go into relativity talk and that kind of stuff. But here we go. Edwin Hubble's discovery that the cosmos is composed of outrushing galaxies, there you go, there's an assumption, gave scientists and philosophers reason to hope that the riddles of the universe might at last be solved, and the whole of creation wrapped up once and for all in a single mathematical formulation. So right off the bat, we know for a fact that the people who look through the telescopes think that the entire universe can be wrapped up into one single mathematical formulation. Now, I'm not too sure what the definition for delusion is, but I'm pretty sure that's delusional. Inspired by this hope, again another delusional thought, cosmology has developed into a modern science. I highly doubt that cosmology developed into a modern science or astronomy strictly because we wanted to mathematically formulate it. I'm pretty sure we wanted to look through the telescopes just to see what was out there and to find out how big of a place we live in really is. That was our hope, and yes, we have accomplished that. So the next is putting it all into organized things, into actually explaining what's happening. Some of the best scientific minds of the century have contributed to it. Some of the liveliest controversies and rivalries of modern thought have arisen from it. And although its high goals remain unattained, they appear more attainable with each passing year. This book was written in 1964. It's 51 years old. The people back then it appeared to them they were attaining more and more and more. But being that this is an excellent time capsule book, I wish I could go back then and tell them it only appears that way to you guys, because the major discoveries which are going to happen over the next 50 to 100 years, or 50 years up until now, are not going to be related to some expansion of the universe, and certainly aren't related to some superior mathematical formulation where it wraps up everything into a little tight ball. And as we can see, that attitude persists even in the 21st century, and if we are to make any progress in astronomy, astrophysics, or in understanding nature in general, we have to lean more away from that mentality of, oh, everything is going to be a mathematical formula. It doesn't work like that. The nature we live in, the universe we live in, is a physical thing, with physical things happening. I have never seen the number 5 running down the road as if it were in Sesame Street. But anyways, today is July 5th, 2015. I'll go ahead and make a few presentations on the whiteboard today, being that the library is open. Alright everybody, have a good day.